He hit my hands. Nobody has ever hit my hands. I've never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands? And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee it.
A little flashback for you. Great moment in American democracy. Donald Trump implying that his penis is big, live on it. The only thing sadder than what you just saw is the fact that he's not even right, that he's lying. Also, it's sad that Marco Rubio is laughing along. They all failed to stop Donald Trump from becoming the nominee. You big jokes. But anyway, that introduced us to this ongoing, ever-evolving thing about the size of Donald Trump's package. Well, unfortunately for him, he decided to harass and legally intimidate Stormy Daniels for a number of years, which has led her to be very open about what he's actually like. And in the wake of what just happened legally, which is it being ruled that she has to pay Trump $300,000 over a failed defamation lawsuit, she is striking back. First by saying, I will go to jail before I pay a penny. She's saying, I'm not giving him the $300,000. She doesn't feel that she should have to. And she put out a statement which touched on a number of different things. You can see it right here. We're gonna dive into a couple of specific parts, including the beginning, which starts like this. In response to that ridiculous statement by Tiny, this was not a criminal case or ruling. This was also not about whether we had sex or not. This was simply about if he could tweet rude and false things about me. So I love that, like, the stakes are $300,000, but she just slips in the reference to him having a tiny little mushroom penis. Again, these are just allegations. It's in the public record. We're putting it out there. She's just reminding people of that. We revealed last week the amazing fact. I could not believe this when I first saw this, that although Truth Social, the new craze when it comes to social media, had been around for about 2 weeks, Donald Trump, the guy who started it, the guy who drew in all these members, hadn't used it. He had not posted a truth, to be fair. Well, now he's apparently very mad. Not mad enough to actually use the service, not mad enough to give his audience that which they crave, his thoughts and opining. But he's apparently very mad about the launch. In recent weeks, sources have told the Daily Beast that the former president can be heard on the phone swearing gratuitously and asking things like, what the F is going on with Truth Social? He's repeatedly mad about the negative press, which we are a part of, thankfully, and the less than stellar topics of the rollout. He's demanded to know why more people aren't using it, why the app isn't swiftly dominating the competition. And it is complicated. I mean, if you look at, to jump ahead, SimilarWeb says there was a spike of about 2 million daily visits to the site when it first debuted, which is impressive. That then quickly dropped down to 300,000. It's on par with Getter, but Gab, there's so many of these right-wing things, has about 650,000 daily visits, so it's not even as popular as Gab. In fact, it's the 72nd most popular app that for free on Apple's App Store right now, way behind things like Twitter and Facebook. But the most fascinating thing, Jordan, is he's raging about the fact that this doesn't seem to be going well, that people are predicting that it's gonna fail, but he isn't actually using it, which seems like the best thing to draw MAGA people into the service. This doesn't make any sense to me.
I think its stumble out of the gate reveals like this was ultimately just a big bluff that they decided to go ahead with anyway. And they used this for years to game the refs and get preferential treatment. And a study from Twitter itself, they conducted and looked at how political content performed in its algorithm and admitted right-wing content performs better than left-wing content. And this is a byproduct of the Republicans complaining for years about censorship and shadow bans and being deplatformed and all these different types of things that the tech companies were like, oh, okay, well, we're sorry, sir. And they gave them preferential treatment. And then one of the ways they did that though was like, we're just gonna start our own and we're gonna leave. We're all gonna leave. And they don't want to see a drop in daily active users because that would hurt their market prospects, perspectives from a perspective analysts and investors. They didn't want to, deal with that. But then the right just did it anyway, and turns out, wow, running a social media platform is much easier or much harder than they thought.